Hey everyone, Matt here. It is Wednesday. That is the main event time where we go over our main topics for the week. So if you're watching or listening, this is the meat and potatoes of the episode. If we happen to have any news to discuss as well, that's where we'll talk about it here. For the full episode, check us out on Saturdays. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you enjoy. News roundup and topics of the week. News roundup and one of our topics kind of overlapped, and we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But no news this week, and you know what? We may as well just rip the bandage off. Tariq, let's start with your topic this week.
Oh man,
Because fireworks.
we're not gonna let it marinate. We're just gonna throw it on the grill already. Sounds good to me.
Yes.
All right. So the reason why we don't have a news topic was because of my topic, of course. So we're scrolling through the depths of the internet known as Reddit, and people have brought up to the attention 2.0 and the next generation of built cards. In the survey, having a no annual fee option concepts, $95 annual fee concepts, $550 annual fee concepts of the built MasterCard, which I don't even know if it'd still be MasterCard for those fees. But anyway, with that being said, with everything that we have seen and have been kind of teased about, and the fact that we thought we were not going to get a no annual fee built card and somebody lied or someone didn't know, not going to say any names, but it kind of invalidated a certain interview that one of our co-hosts did a few months ago. Yeah, Built's doing things again. And now that we're seeing this recent, the resurgence of a Built 2.0, is it worth going for the current iteration of the Built card before any potential changes or refreshes to it, or do we just wait it out? Because right now Built is wild again, and some people are just not going to be happy about it. And you know what? I'm going to save the best for last, so I'm going to start with Matt.
Yeah, so Built is doing things. It remains to be seen what the fruits of this labor will be. To the extent that we know, they have sent out a survey. The survey has those 3 tiers as mentioned. I am hopeful that Built only focuses on doing 2 tiers because the tiers that they presented were not particularly good. I did a video last Wednesday on the potential of a survey. I did a live on Thursday that ran about an hour and a half, and then I followed up with another video. Well, no, that video on Saturday was just a portion of my live on Thursday, but I went pretty deep on it. Built is, I would not say right now is particularly a strong time to go after the Built card. However, if you're a renter and Built makes sense for you to get the points for rent, you may as well just keep farming those points. Keep grabbing whatever points you can in terms of rent. For changes going forward, we don't know anything about if the card in question is going to be, the card as it stands right now is going to be grandfathered and kept the same, or if it will get changed over to whatever a new no annual fee card will be. We know that there will always be a no annual fee option. What that's going to look like in the future, I don't know. And I know that just because, Richard Kerr, the VP of travel at Built, has stated numerous times and in numerous media that there will always be that option. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't think that Built really knows where they want to go with this, and they were kind of going all over the place. I think it would just be easier to appeal to the 85% of its members that don't have the card for whatever reason they don't have the card, and try and convert more of those folks into getting the card and using the card more often than not, and kind of live life as a complimentary card setup to another issuer, to another set of points. Like, they have enough transfer partners where if they're a complement to your everyday spending being through Chase, but like Built is there for rent, they have a lot of synergy with Chase cards that they could be that complement and offer a no annual fee, let's say up to $50,000 in spend, 2 times points earning card that could complement what you do with Chase. That would make the most sense. That would be a way to convert some of that 85% over. Right now, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're planning. I don't know how much of the stuff that they're going to bring, how much of the stuff from the surveys they're going to take into account. It was also somewhat worrying that they didn't include any text boxes on any of the questions asked to include like feedback from users. Now, that feedback can definitely come from, if you got the email with the survey, you can always reply to Encore's emails. I don't know how much of it he sees, but like it's a replyable inbox. So I would say right now, unless rent is something that you absolutely have to push through the built card, hold off and just see what the heck is going on. I don't love any of the options that I saw from the surveys that I saw. And I don't know that anyone should love the options that they saw. I think there's an easy path of like no annual fee, 2x everything, complement cards and other setups, be a complimentary system, and then add in your neighborhood benefits, and then 550 go ham because the people who are going to pay 550 for your card are going to use your card for a lot of their spend. So that to me, I think there should only be 2 cards, 95 in the middle. Nothing they presented was good. And a lot of $95 cards are not good to begin with. So skip 95, 0, 550, go ham on the 550 card, make the 0 card the consumer blue business plus that everyone would love.
Yeah, I just found it funny when I was looking at the $95 annual fee concepts that one of them was basically the Sapphire Preferred.
One of them was the built card that they have for a $95 annual fee. Now, they could make that $95 card and that 550 card like more interesting for built status, but they didn't include any of that in their email because this is just in like software development terms, this is just whiteboarded. This isn't, no code has been written, nothing has been farmed out in an alpha, nothing's been farmed out in beta. This is just the whiteboarding stage. And if this is the whiteboarding stage, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
it's been fun seeing all the reactions and responses. And speaking of reactions and responses from people, especially one that doesn't care for built customer service, RJ, what do you think?
So before I give my answer, I'm going to actually go through the options presented in the survey because not everybody has seen this. And I think us talking about the $95 options or the 550 options or whatever without explaining it to those who might not have seen it may not be super helpful. So I am going to take a moment. I'm going to maybe editorialize a little bit on the options. So for the $0 cards, option A is 1x points for rent and mortgage, 4x points for built neighborhood dining, Walgreens, Lyft, and then 1.5 everything else. Option B, which is more dog shit, is 1 point for rent and mortgage, 3x points for built neighborhood dining, Walgreens, Lyft, 2x for gas, groceries, dining, 1x for everything. $95 is just crap for both. Not that I have an opinion here. 1x for both on rent. The option A has 5x for neighborhood dining, hotels booked through Built, Lyft, and Walgreens. I don't know, guys. Do they have a partnership with Lyft and Walgreens? I can't tell. 2x points for dining, groceries, and gas, 1x everything else. The option B is 5x points for neighborhood dining and Lyft, 3x points for dining and Walgreens, 2x for travel, 1x everything else. This also has some credits, Built Fitness, Walgreens, Built Hotel. For both of them, same credits. 60 for the first two, 50 for the Built Hotel credit. But the 550 like makes the JetBlue card look good. Option A is 1x on rent and mortgage, 5x points for hotels through Built Neighborhood Dining, Lyft, Walgreens, 4x for direct flight bookings, 2x for dining, 1x everything else, with $380 of credits. Hope you guys really like some Built Fitness. The second option is 1.25 for rent and mortgage, 5x for hotels through Built, Lyft, and Walgreens, 4x for Built neighborhood dining, 3x for direct flights, 2x for gas and grocery, 1x everything else with the 380 in partner credits. Now that I have said all of that with no editorializing whatsoever, look, I don't agree with Matt. I don't think we can say they're always going to have a $0 annual fee because I don't believe anything that comes out of anybody related to Built's mouth because their communication sucks and they want so desperately to be Apple. They want their loyal following to go over a cliff with them. And they're not Apple and they're not Amex and they're not Chase. And they don't want to be synergistic with Chase and they don't want to make sense. They want Built to be the thing that you do. Like they want Built to be the thing on your mind. They don't want Chase or Amex or anybody else to be the thing on your mind. They are a loyalty program that happens to also have a credit card. And I don't think they're good at it. If you're in New York City, you can get some of the perks. If you're outside New York City, fuck you, buddy. Like that's their strategy. Because if you're not in New York City, most of the benefits or the higher tier benefits you can't fucking access. Like it drives me crazy. Like I don't have this card. I'm not in this program, but it drives me crazy because people go ape over this program like it is reinventing the wheel when it's a triangle that they're trying to push up a hill. And it doesn't work. I don't believe the people who are running it have any idea of what they're doing on a communications front because they haven't proved it to me yet. So I don't know. They're probably going to go with a $95 and a $4,000 option that we don't know about yet. That'll get you 2x points on rent. Like it's so bananas to me the infatuation people have with Built because they have some really good transfer partners. They might not have all those transfer partners by the end of the year. We don't know. They're renegotiating contracts this year. If they lose Hyatt or Alaska, or even if they go to a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1, like it's game over. Because if they go 3-to-1 to Hyatt, just get a Chase card. Literally any Chase card will get you 1-to-1. So game over. Like I don't understand the infatuation with this program. Like at least like the Centurion card looks nice. Like at least they got that. I don't get it. Don't. It makes me angry that people are this loyal. Like I'm looking at 7 different Apple products at the moment, and I still don't get infatuation the way that people have the infatuation with Built. Okay? Don't get it.
Oh, didn't expect that one. And I guess we can on the mid-tier Built card, it seems like Built might be taking Chase's place on the $95 crap card.
They're all crap cards at 95.
Wow. Got the unexpected.
Not the choice card. The choice card is a $95 card worth it.
No, I'm sorry. Bank cards at 95. All the bank cards at 95 are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You know, despite not getting I got the unexpected RJ rant. Now for the expected Lani rant. Lani, we talked about this in the pre-show. You had some choice words that you were going to share. Let's hear it. I am ready.
I don't know if I have anything left to say after RJ. I think she scraped the bottom of the barrel and got the little bits out of it. Like
I'm sorry.
But
it was unexpected, but needed and lovely.
I'm not going to say she was wrong, but coming from a perspective of someone that doesn't have the card, I can't say she was wrong. Anyway, so a couple of things first. First off, we all need to just calm down a little bit because all it was a survey. Okay? And the best part of that survey was that they offered 2 new colors, and that blue color looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, it does.
That's it. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is official. And then I think RJ hit the nail on the head. Well, I won't say she hit it on the head, but she definitely hit the nail when she said that Built doesn't know exactly what they're doing yet. And I think they're actually, no, the part I don't disagree with is I don't think that they are doing it wrong by putting feelers out there, saying like, let's do this survey, throw some stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And the thing is, I think the best part about that plan is that I know firsthand that there are built employees that follow Credit Card YouTube. They are watching our videos, they are in our comments, and they are paying attention to what the people say. Now, yes, they might know like, hey, we didn't do that right, or people don't like this about our card or whatnot. They can't just change all that stuff on a dime. But when you get to those changing points, you have to do it right. You got to do it at least 50% right, 40% right. You got to get a good chunk of it right, because you're not going to be able to do another change or a transition for quite some time. Like, think about it. Built's already been out for 2 years, and this is like the real biggest change they've done. Now, I say all of that because to answer the question first, there's 2 pieces to that. One, Built has the opportunity to be the one card for everyone. This illustrious unicorn, the red unicorn at that, black unicorn, if you will. They have the opportunity to be that one card for everyone if they get it right. And right now they're not quite there yet, but we can see that's where they're trying to be. I think RJ said they're trying to be the Apple of credit cards, which is not a bad place to be. But you're not going to do it in the first 2 or 3 years. And it's going to cost you. We already know how they feel with Wells Fargo, that what's costing them, which is probably why they're even looking at annual fee products to help with some of that cost. The other aspect of it is that if you didn't need a Built card before, after this survey, these options of what they could be making, then you still don't need a Built card. And the thing is, they didn't solve the problem. And the problem was, how do I get people to use the card? Because right now you get a bunch of people that pay rent. I'm going to call mortgage in there too, because we know it's coming. They pay for their roof. And then, as Matt likes to say, they went and bought 4 bananas. They went and bought 4 packs of gum. Got their points, and they're done for the next 28, 29, 27, 28, 29, or 30 days ish. Well, not 28. There is no 29 unless it's leap year. Anyway, so I'm inclusive to all the months during all the years. All right. Shut up, RJ. Anyway. Oh.
Touching strays. I didn't even do anything.
Hey, it's better you than me. I'm cool with it.
So going back to my point, that's the key problem with Built. It's not fully geographically inclusive like their competitors. I can use my MX Gold card anywhere. I can use my MX Platinum card wherever I have a Wi-Fi signal, literally, because I'm not swiping it anywhere. I can use my Chase cards at like any restaurants, you know what I mean? But Built, they have built this foundation on, as these geographic locations where not everybody feels inclusive. And so if you're outside of that, if you're in the middle of the country, if you're not in a major city, you might even be in a suburb, next to a major city. And it's like, all right, I'm just going to pay my rent and, go buy my 4 packs of gum, get my points, and I'm going to get out of here. The good thing is that they understand that and they're looking at options. And that's what that survey was about. And like I mentioned, they watch Credit Card YouTube. So right now they're probably going through everyone's videos like, yo, that survey really set YouTube on fire in our particular area, in our category. Maybe we should change some things. Perfect thing that they haven't confirmed anything yet. Everybody sit down and just wait. The train has not arrived at the station yet. I will say, give me an option for the blue metal card, because that sucker was sick. And then, like I said, the bad part is you still got to fix the problem. And the first problem is you got to give people a reason to use the card. No matter if you go through all those, the 0, the 95, the 550 option, there's still not a reason for me to actually use the card. So I'm still just right back where I was, maybe paying 550, maybe paying 95. I think the only thing that really stood out to me was, like $0 and I get 1.5 on everything. I mean, they've already trumped, leapfrog the preferred card. Why not go after the unlimited card as well? That makes total sense to me. but that's on the $0 option. The only other thing that I will say, and then I will shut up, is that also going on, some of the things that they need to work on is exactly what Matt said, and also resonating back to what RJ said, is there's a lot of people that don't have the built card. And this is your opportunity to make a card for them to apply and start using the built card. I think as of right now, based on the survey, they have not done that yet. So those two things could completely, I'm not going to say 180, maybe 45, maybe 90-degree change the company, but those are the key things that need to change. I think they're catering to the people that have the card and not using it fully versus the people that don't have the card, or the people that are looking for a reason to use the card outside of get my 5 transactions. I think that's the issue with the built card.
Yeah,
good question, Tariq.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the camp of, not having the card, even though I am part of the program. And I've been spending just thinking about what purchases that I would make that I would otherwise put on my IHG Premier. But, I could think of two, one of them being rent and the other moving my insurance to the first. And sure, I could eat out on that card, even though I have 3 other 3x dining cards that I can think of off the top of my head. So yeah. Now, I mean, I guess if it's 1.5, if they keep the rent day, 3x on rent day would be pretty cool. But cool, we get a built Freedom Unlimited and a built Sapphire Preferred with the annual fee and a $50 hotel credit. So yay. For built trying not to be their own thing, they sure know how to mimic chase cards well.
Well, if you're gonna slay the king, you may as well copy the king.
Right. I think the only issue, and I'm not saying that they did this part wrong. They absolutely did not. We already know how we feel about the built plus the CSP, but the Freedom Unlimited is a $0 annual fee card already. So you can't just throw out another $0. You can't go apples to apples. You got to do it like what you did with CSP, and the annual fee is the apples and oranges. But when it comes to the Freedom Unlimited, you need to try something different. You can't just be like, all right, we're just going to match that. And yes, they did Walgreens or something like that, or Lyft or something on top of that. Chase has a deal with Lyft for at least the next 6 weeks or so. So maybe that's going to hop in after that closes, or if it doesn't get renewed, hopefully it gets renewed because I love that perk on my CSR. But anyway,
I have no idea if it's getting renewed.
Yeah, it's been crickets out there. I've been looking.
Been too quiet, I'll say that.
Yeah, which is not looking good. But when you want to go, if you want to make the Freedom Unlimited, do the same thing with the Freedom Unlimited, you got to come a little bit stronger. $0 annual fee to $0 annual fee, fine. But you got to give me something stronger. 2X would have been great if they just did the 2X. And maybe they're holding out. Maybe they put the feelers out there. If we do 1.5, what would people say? And maybe they go 2X. If they go 2X, I would say it's almost curtains. I think that could actually change a whole currencies. Your built currency could instantly be more valuable. I wouldn't say more valuable, but more sought after than a Chase UR point. I could save so much money in annual fees and still end up with 1.25. Come on, man.
I would say if they did do 2X on the no annual fee, I would almost say we could kiss rent day goodbye. Because I don't see built, on the first of the month giving 4X built points on every purchase. Now, I would incentivize people using the card, but they probably have to shell out a lot in built points on the first. So
if they went to 2X, I don't think they would keep the 100% rent day bonus. I think they would either scrap it or make it 50%, which would still be super valuable. Either way, to me, built is, it's nice that they are communicating. They still have reputation issues with communication. Build 2.0, there's been nothing about a commitment to like making their customer service, I don't know, usable. Because the only way you can really interact well with Built customer service is to complain on Reddit. Like Reddit is their customer service forum. That's not good, right? 90% of the time there's an issue with the Built card. They pass the buck over to Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo passes the buck back over to Built. And like nobody in either company's customer service forums, their customer service media that they're using is properly trained to be able to answer the questions properly. And that is a huge issue. Like, and if you're going to bring in a $95 card and you're going to bring in a $550 card and you still don't have those figured out, now maybe there's a plan to like properly introduce this card and properly introduce customer service. To this point, Built customer service is not good. That's before, like, I think their corporate communications is improving. I think they've learned their lesson, but there's still reputational damage there. And it's still going to be a question of can they actually implement this $95 card or a $550 card with the customer service that they currently have. And right now, I don't think they can. They got to copy Chase's secure messenger. They got to copy, I don't know, having someone available on the phones.
Are you still on hold, Matt?
No, Keith is still on hold from 3 weeks ago. That's the problem. I don't have the card. Like I'm not super worried about that. But I do feel bad for people who hold the Built card who get passed to Wells Fargo and Wells Fargo going, oh, and then sending them back to Built. Like I appreciate what they're trying to do. I appreciate the communication that they're doing with this survey and, you know, putting stuff out there on the drawing board. It's wrong, but like I appreciate that they're making that effort. I'm still worried about the product overall. Like there's some pretty bad reputational damage that they've taken in the last year that they don't seem to be fully addressing, and I'm curious to see what they do.
This was a fun topic. I'm glad that I'm glad that this has felt a little cathartic, and we'll see what happens if and when Built does something.
Oh, I'm sure Lani and I will have another therapy session on that very shortly.
We'll just have a complete episode dedicated to Built. Stack your points, the Built episode.
Let's move on to Lani, your topic.
All right. So knocked them up, knocked them down. Let's start racking them back up again, shall we?
Absolutely.
And this is kind of like the next segue in coming off of Built. So my question is not Built related, but Built, we can use Built as an example. Now, I don't know which episode you're watching, but we've always been an advocate of using your credit cards as intended. RJ also went on a not as good as her Built rant, but she did go on a small rant about using your cards as intended in our questions section. And I kind of did as well. Meaning, after your sign-up bonus, you got to continue using your cards in some way on a regular basis. Now, more and more, I believe these cards are becoming less everyday spend cards, but then turning into what I call lifestyle cards. In the case of the Amex Platinum, I call it a subscription. Now, with all these like cards, new cards that are coming out, being speculated and things like that, bonus categories are starting to overlap more than ever. Like, how many cards offer you 3x on dining at this point? Like, straight up, let's just be real. Even with perks, how many cards offer you global entry or priority pass?
At least 20.
Right. And you can say what you want to say about Built, but at least they're trying to add new categories. Like, Walgreens is its own bonus category in this survey that they just put out. These types of things, like fitness is its own bonus category. It's not the same rigmarole that we're all used to. Now, when it comes to these lifestyle cards, they're not necessarily sock drawer cards. They're just cards that you use when you need them versus something that you carry around with you every single day to use for everyday spend. Now, I see this trend of lifestyle cards growing, where it's like, well, I'll put it like this: more of the higher annual fee cards I see becoming more lifestyle cards, where you might get you. We can stick with the hotel cards. You get all the benefits when you stay at the hotel, and you might get like a food credit every month or something like that, like $25 here, $15 there. These small little credits. But the other things are, you got to use the card, but you need to use it at our specific property or something like that when you use it. Hilton Surpass, I know, Matt, you brought that up earlier, is a great option because it's like, yo, you get $50 credit, take the Hilton gift cards out of it. Folks, don't even put those in the comments. But
No.
you get the $50 credit, and it's like, I'm not staying at a Hilton thing, but I can go to a Hilton property and go to the restaurant, or I can go to its gift shop and use that as, a very horrible Valentine's Day gift or something of that nature, and use my $50. I'm only saying it because some of y'all go to Saks twice a year with your platinum card and for $50. I'm just saying, you wouldn't go there any other way. All that aside, do any of you start seeing this trend of lifestyle cards growing? And if yes, no matter, I don't care if it's yes or no, to be completely honest, but I guarantee that you got at least one type of lifestyle card in your arsenal right now. And I did an audit of my wallet, and I had like 4 of them. And I'm like, wow, I don't use any of these unless I'm specifically staying at a specific place or using a specific product. I've talked about my United Explorer card first. I don't swipe that card for absolutely anything, but then I use it like crazy when I fly on United. I have hotel cards that I don't swipe for anything. My HG card I do, so that one's not. But I have my Aspire card, which outside of the welcome bonus, I'm not really going to be looking at it unless I'm staying on in the Hilton properties, which I have already booked, like up starting in all the way through 2025. So who am I going to start with tonight? Matt, I'm going to start with you tonight. Do you see this trend growing, and what lifestyle cards do you have?
I absolutely do see this trend growing. You see the success of the American Express Platinum card. You see the success of the American Express Gold card. You see American Express patting themselves on the back with the growth in their usership that they've had with their cards and the changes that they make to their cards, resulting in claims of either more signups than they anticipated, or just continuing to kill it with millennials and Gen Z. They're highlighting millennials and Gen Z like all the time in their earnings calls. I do think, and they're sort of being able to plant the flag of this is where we're going, and everyone's coming along for the ride. By and large, as much as it works for folks in the Northeast and RJ, the Duncan credit is weird to look at in abstract. Now it works, but it's weird to look at in abstract. But they've had no issues with signups on the gold card. They haven't had a significant drop off of people canceling the gold card. And as much as YouTube creators will say, oh, I'm canceling the gold card, they just seem to magically get them back within a couple of weeks after turning them into green cards or moving them up to platinums or whatever. Like, there's very few creators who have said I'm canceling the gold card and have not brought back the gold card in some form or fashion. Now there are creators out there who have done that, but they seem to be in the minority. Lifestyle cards are going to continue. Why? Because American Express makes a lot of money through their credit cards, makes a lot of money through their charge cards, and their quarterly earnings, they're killing it every quarter. Chase wants in on that. Wells Fargo, I'm sure, will want in on that. Airlines that just happen to be airlines who are credit card issuers just masquerading as Airbuses, they want in on that because 1% of GDP goes through Delta credit cards, right? They want more spend going through their cards, and if that means converting into lifestyle cards instead of being everyday spend cards, they're going to do that. You saw Delta cards add the Delta Stays credit. You saw them add the Resi credits. Their Resi credits are insulting to me, but people are using the cards. Maybe a little too frequently all in one because reasons. But you're seeing the lifestyle card trend grow. And as long as American Express is going to be making money at it, every other issuer is going to try and do something similar. And if it's not the issuer specifically, every other issuer's co-branded partner is going to try to do something similar. So I do see that continuing to grow. Lifestyle cards, I have the JetBlue business card does not fully get used except when I'm on JetBlue flights at this point. Like I will use it here and there for dining, but I will use it more for the save 50% on whatever, get on the plane first, and the other perks that the JetBlue business card gives me. The same would be true for the JetBlue Plus card if I had the JetBlue Plus card. The other lifestyle card that I have would be the Sapphire Reserve. Every month I've got dining options that are through DoorDash. I'm able to pick up other convenience items through DoorDash. There are other perks of the card that are sort of lifestyle-ish. And, my first $300 in travel expenses are prepaid back to me. So that I would consider a lifestyle card. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the Lyft credit. I'm hoping that it stays, but we'll see. Lyft needs Chase. Chase needs Lyft. It's a relationship that should work, but I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, lifestyle cards growing. I only have 2 that I can think of off the top of my head, but I'm sure if I gave it more thought, there would be others.
Cool. Now, I don't agree that the MX Gold is a lifestyle card. That actually gets this. Yeah, thanks, RJ. That actually gets a spot in my wallet every single day. Well, not Q1 of this year because Freedom Flex has its grocery category, but outside of that, it does. And if it weren't for sign-up bonus period for restaurants, it would be used for dining. Now, you mentioned CSR, and I love that you did that because I think that's one of the niche cards that could be a lifestyle card. In your geographic location, I understand why it is. For me,
I use it every day.
I love
that is my daily dining card.
Oh yeah. I will happily swipe that card. Sometimes even over my gold card, especially when I want the points or whatever dining program, so I can double dip, still get points and whatever currency. But this ain't about the CSR. And me and Matt could go back and forth on this and sell each and every one of y'all on it. But I still got to get to RJ and Tariq. And so RJ.
So here is, I said last week that I've never disagreed with Lani more. I'm going to say this week I've never disagreed with Matt more. The gold is not let me back up. As Lani is defining lifestyle card, the gold is not a lifestyle card. I think it's a lifestyle card if you just say do life. That, yes, lifestyle card in that way. Not the way Lani is defining it for this question.
I agree with that.
So here's the problem with the credit card community and how we do things, right? Almost all of us have a 2X card that gets a lot of our non-category spend. So it's hard for us to think about the way, I think about how my parents or my friends or my cousins use their card. They don't think about 1X as a bad thing. They just use their card. So the gold card or the green card or the Freedom United or even the Flex, right? They just use those cards. So to me, most cards aren't actually lifestyle cards that have sort of the credits or things like that. I agree. The Platinum is absolutely a subscription service. I make no bones about that. I hold the Platinum and I have zero desire to get rid of it. I make a head on the Platinum or I come out ahead on the Platinum, so I'm not worried about sort of my relationship with the Platinum. I use the Platinum sometimes when I book tickets. Sometimes I use a different card, but I have it because of all the credits it gives me. I carry it. It's in my bag if I need it, but it's not a card I reach for outside of very niche situations. Like the $50 credit to get into a Centurion or a Delta Lounge would be a case I would use it. The last time I swiped it was for that reason. But it's not a card I use day to day. But my gold card I use in a day-to-day situation. My green card I might use in a day-to-day situation. Like a lot of those cards, but because I have 2X cards, that's what I reach for the all other. And I think because most of us have the 2% or the 2X, it is hard to have the conversation of cards that we use day to day outside of their categories because we have this default to the 2x or the 2%. And I think for most of us, because we have those, it changes our conversation. But I think that every company sort of outside of Capital One, because their 2x card is their highest card, they're sort of the weird ones. Most companies have their lifestyle subscription. Like the CSR, I think depending on who you are and how you live your life might kind of sort of be yours, but it's a little bit in a strange place. Amex absolutely has it with the platinum. You know, most companies have that sort of higher card that mostly has the credits or mostly has the perks. But yeah, I think they're going to become more prevalent. I would disagree with Matt that I agree that Dunkin' is more niche, but I think because Dunkin' is in so many airports, I think because Dunkin' is so sort of ubiquitous in the markets they want to be in, that it makes sense. I understand exactly why they put that credit on because they want to get people in certain areas or they want to get travelers. And both of those places have Dunkin' Donuts. Like, so for me, it makes sense. I also happen to drink a ton of Dunkin' Donuts. So for me, it's great. I'm actually getting rid of my gold card on renewal. I'm not downgrading it to a green to re-upgrade it. I'm getting rid of it. I'm not the primary grocery shopper in my household. So that's a huge reason people have the gold card. I'm keeping the business gold card over the personal gold card because it still has the dining that I want, but I don't do the grocery shopping, so I don't need that. And I can use the $20 a month for, office supply stores to get Coke Zero or, a gift card or whatever. So for me, that's better. So I'm going to be one of those rare people who gets rid of the gold card, even though I'm advocating for the gold card in this conversation. I think if you do grocery shopping, it makes a lot more sense. But anyway, do I think we will see more of them? Yes. Do I wish that I could just buy a subscription to Amex for $600 and not, save the $95 by not having a physical card in my wallet? Yes. But every time I pull that card out, anytime somebody goes to dinner and slaps down their platinum, that is free advertising because everybody, even if you know nothing about credit cards, knows what an Amex Platinum looks like, even if they don't know what an Amex Platinum is or the benefits of an Amex Platinum. It is one of the most ubiquitous credit cards for a marketing standpoint for Amex, and they are never going to let that go. So they'll never just give me the subscription service I can buy without having to have that card. I know this was a little bit of a scatterbrained answer, but yeah, I think that it's going to be more common. Just Amex has much greater reach than Bilt, so they're not centered to New York City. Like, yes, they have the Saks credit, but I bought a stainless steel pan and I am nowhere near New York City. And it was delivered to me and it cost me like $3. And I use that pan all of the time because it is fantastic. So you can still use credits even if you're not in New York City or near a Saks Fifth Avenue to sort of use whatever they give you. So it's not geo-locked in the same way Bilt. Like the helicopter, you kind of got to be where the helicopter is with Bilt in a way that you don't have to be in New York City with the Saks credit because they have the online. So there you go.
Yeah, my Saks credit, I bought a Star Wars sweatsuit for my son where the original price for some dumb reason was $250. He was making $250 sweatsuits for toddlers. And so I got it a
Disney.
little, yeah. I got it a little big, but I didn't pay $3, but I paid like 13 for it because it was on sale. You know why it was $250 and on sale? Because you charge $250 for a sweatsuit for a toddler. But RJ, also going back to the Centurion Lounge and your $50. Now I've never tried this, so I got an honest question. So if they're going to charge you $50, can I put this on my CSR and still get in so I can get 3x on the travel purchase?
So my airline is Delta. So I was able to swipe the card for the $50 and then I got the credit back for it. That's why that was the card I used.
I want my 3x on that travel expense. Yeah, I'm getting
Well,
in
I
my
get I
Centurion
also get the
Lounge.
points for the thing, so I'm happy with it. But can you use it for the $50? Probably. Do you get it reimbursed? No.
Yeah, I just don't want to pay for an extra person $50 to get into the Centurion Lounge. And if I do, put the $50 on my CSR so I get 3x. That's all I want. And somebody let me know if that's possible in the comments. Tariq, up to you.
So yeah, short answer, people want to have lifestyle. We have an issue of like lifestyle inflation. So people have this dream of like lifestyles and they want to have like the most optimal, the most Instagram worthy lifestyle. So yeah, banks are going to take advantage of the opportunity to sell that lifestyle. I know we've seen like, even though it's more geo locked and we've talked about it, probably too much now, but Built for the most part is kind of like a lifestyle card for people who rent. Like they have all these different credits. Obviously, Amex is the king of lifestyle cards, and even Chase is starting to dabble in it. I mean, I have the Sapphire Preferred, and I get a $10 monthly DoorDash credit. That's not for restaurants. I actually just use mine to go buy some hand soap on Dashmart because it was closed and I was like all my stores were closed and I didn't feel like going out. So it was convenient. So I definitely think that there will be more lifestyle cards in the future. Looking at my wallet, the Sapphire Preferred is the closest I got to a lifestyle card because yeah, I have the Hyatt Business, but I only use it like to have like the $50 credits if I'm at a Hyatt property, which I'll actually be at a Hyatt property this upcoming weekend. So I might be able to use one of the credits. But aside from that, I don't really have many lifestyle cards. I don't really pay for any like subscription based cards. So we will see what happens in the future. But I definitely think there's going to be more lifestyle cards in the next few years.
Give it time, Tariq. You'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get there.
We will see.
That's all I got. Back to you, Matt.
Absolutely. And if they're not lifestyle cards now, or they're not seen as lifestyle cards now, give it a refresh or two. A lot more cards will be lifestyle cards or seen as lifestyle cards.
Yeah, and I'd actually say go watch Matt's channel about all these new cards that are coming out because all he's been talking about for the last month are lifestyle cards, except for JetBlue.
Yeah, no, that's not a lifestyle card. That's a tragedy.
Lifestyle card.
That is the reason the Geneva Convention exists. All right. No, not really. Canadians and Poles are. Anyway, we'll go to my topic, and my topic's pretty quick. I found out about my partner's. My partner has friends who are getting married at the tail end of the year. I was made aware of this trip last week, early in the week, and they have a wedding website set up. They've got a whole set of like where they're booking for the hotel, what hotel they're doing everything from, all of that. So I went on, and I don't want to pay cash for this particular trip. I'm trying not to pay as much cash on travel as possible, and that's kind of why we do this whole project, right? So I priced out the same hotel via using IHG points. It's an IHG hotel. I don't have any IHG points currently. I do have Chase points. I do have Built points that I could transfer over to IHG. You can always purchase IHG points if there's a good sale going on. There currently isn't, and it turns out that I missed that sale by, I don't know, 5 days. That I didn't realize that I would need to use that sale. So I went searching. The point value on IHG didn't look particularly enticing for the room that I wanted to book. I went to the Chase Travel Portal. I found the exact hotel I found the exact room that I wanted to book. I found the exact length of the stay for 25,000 chase points overall. Whereas I would have had to transfer out 50,000 IHG points, and the IHG rate wasn't particularly compelling at 53,000 points. Am I wrong for wanting to book through Chase or booking through Chase and like booking a better room than this couple had set up for anyone else who was attending their wedding? Am I a dingus for doing this, or am I just following our ethos of book what you want, when you want, how you want? Tariq, your thoughts here.
Matt, you are the host of this podcast. If anyone should be giving anybody the green light for this, it's you. Why are you asking this question, man? You're good.
Because I didn't want to talk about Built this week.
Well, that's because I covered it. But I mean, realistically, the only thing that I would say, unless you really care about earning IHG points for your stay, or because you don't have status.
Don't have status, don't have the card, don't have any pool of points with IHG. Just my only real concern was like pissing off the bride because I booked a suite and everyone else's like cash booking is standard rooms.
Okay, that's on them for not getting, like, that's on them. They don't know that you know this. That's so what?
Yeah.
You think you like I said, it's your partner's friends that are getting married. You don't really know them. Crap.
I've met them once. Good people. They're fine. The slate of rooms only showed cash booking, so I couldn't even like book points for the standard rooms that they wanted. So I just went and did my own thing.
If it was the screenshot that you had in the travel center in the Discord, and if it was the city that I'm thinking of, get the suite, man. If she's gonna be a bridezilla, she's gonna be a bridezilla. It's not gonna be your fault.
Fair. All right, cool. RJ?
Are you a dingus? No. Next question.
Perfect. Lani?
I think the only dingus is the one that's even asking this question. Like, why are we having a question about get a better room for less points and still not taking money out of her pocket? Like, leave me out of this one, Matt. I'm going to bow out, Matt. Like, if you can't read between the lines, that's on you. I'm bowing out.
Welcome back to Stack Your Points, everybody.
That's completely fair. My original thing was I'm gonna stall it a week or two just because there may be litigation involved with it, and RJ was right to say to caution, so I didn't really have anything else, and this kind of came to mind. So yeah, we'll talk about that other thing another time. So yeah, am I a dingus for making the booking? No. Am I a dingus? Absolutely.
I think that you're more of a dingus for asking the obvious question that we know you already know the answer.
So,
but it's okay. We love you still.
So let me actually give half a serious answer. It was something like $300-ish to do the room in cash that you were going to do. It was like 25,000 points. You are sitting on what, 250,000 chase points?
Something like that.
Okay. This is not a situation where you're Tariq and you have 7 Hyatt points and you're going to blow all 7 Hyatt points within 15 minutes. Like, you have a cushion of points. You don't want to pay cash. You use the points. Good job. Honestly, I am proud of you for using the points and not paying cash in this situation. So good job.
Anyway, I'm a dingus and I ask dingusy questions on a podcast that I host about not paying for travel.
Oh, and getting a better room without taking money out of your pocket. Don't forget that part. part.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm a dingus, and we'll talk about the CFPB another time. RJ, let's go to your topic because holy goodness, this has gone terribly for me.
So, I am in a situation where I have the worthless, terrible, no good Delta Blue card for reasons to do with one of the perks of the personal Delta Reserve. I do want to upgrade to the Delta Reserve at some point. So it got me thinking about product change because Amex does allow product change within their line between cards. They usually, I think it's like 15 6,000 Delta points if you were to upgrade a card versus like, I'm gonna say it's like 80,000. It's a substantial amount more spend. It's like 500 to $2,000 of spend for the upgrade to get the points versus like 6,000 to get the full welcome bonus. How do you guys approach product change versus applying for a new card? Are you thinking about sort of your velocity here? Is it velocity dependent? Do you always sort of do a fresh card just so you can get that full welcome bonus? Um, I'm gonna go to Lani first. How do you approach this, sir?
Oh yeah, this is easy one. I start at the top and I work backwards. So with any particular issuer, when it comes to a card, now this is not just me being bougie or whatnot. Usually the higher tier cards are the ones that have the higher annual fees, usually come with the best benefits. Now, granted, there are multiple ways of going at it. Let's take lifetime language, family language, all that stuff out of it, where like green, gold, platinum with Amex is like, yeah, if you want to go up that ladder, go green first and then get your gold and then get your platinum. But if you are coming fresh out the gate, getting your first card, let's just say life family language doesn't exist, and you can get 100% value or a good amount of value out of the platinum, I would just say, screw it, go for the platinum. It's one of the reasons why I don't have the green card. I've never had the green card. I just said, screw it. I just went straight to the gold. And last year I got the platinum. Haven't had the platinum even for a year yet. But then with Chase, I started with after my United card and I got my Chase card, my Chase Sapphire card. I just went straight to a reserve. Why? Because that's the one that fit my lifestyle. That's the one that fit my spin. That's the one that fit best in my wallet, if you will, pun intended. What else? I just got the Hilton Aspire card. Never had a Hilton card before. I didn't go honors and surpass and work my way up. I'm just like, hey, just go get the one that works. Go get that one. And for me, if that just happens to be the most expensive one, then just go get it. You don't need all of them. You still get some of those benefits, some of those perks. Credits will be different. Bonus categories will be different. But I don't care about bonus categories anymore. Why could I have like 15 credit cards? Like I got the bonus category somewhere else that I'm missing out on, right? So yeah. Now to the second part of your question, how would I go about it if lifestyle change? Lifestyle, actual me, my personal everyday life that I live lifestyle in this definition. Then yeah, I would probably product change if it made sense. And a great example of this is I had mentioned that my wife and I were both United loyalists now. We both previously had United Explorer cards, the blue one, and now she got the black one based on our family strategy. I kept my blue one and then she product changed her blue one down. Now, the reason why is because you can actually have all four United cards. There is no like, I can only have one United card at a time. You can have all of them. In her case, because she doesn't apply for cards as much as I do, and an enhanced welcome offer, plus the authorized user offer of adding an authorized user, i.e., myself, for extra 5,000 miles, it just made more sense to be like, why don't you just take one quick hard pull, which I know you'll get approved for? We'll get the new welcome offer, which we know we're going to be able to hit because I think we bought a couch that we just bought a new couch and we're going to put that on there. So like, we know we're going to hit that. So let's do that. Let's buy the couch. And then you'll have the black card that we could use the perks benefits for the family when we travel together, because we travel together a lot. And then we can just take your blue card and product change it down. So to answer your question, that's a real life scenario of, depending on the situation, it's better to just say, you know what, instead of product changing, I'll just go ahead and get the card. If you can credit afford it, I guess. If you're not like, I have a plan and I'm trying to like do XYZ over the next X amount of months or anything like that. My wife don't care. She knows I got all the cards that are covering us on every other aspect of our vacations and trips that we take. So I'm like, this one is better set for you than it is for me. You should get it. Boom. So she got it. that worked. But going back to American Express, she doesn't have a platinum card. She's my authorized user on my platinum card for that same reason. It's pointless for us to have two gold cards to split groceries and dining when I can't merge those points together with Amex. You know what I mean? So in those types of scenarios, it's a little bit different. And if she wanted to get an American Express card, I'd probably tell her go with the green card first because it's the one card that I don't have, and then we could share the benefits of that, if that made sense. But I will always say, one, you should not be listening to us as if we're telling you like we are the Bible. Like, get the card that's for you. Just because I say the X card, not the X1 Matt, but the X card, whatever that card is the greatest card ever. And, everyone can take advantage of it. This is the one card everyone should have in their wallet. Doesn't mean you need to go get it. You need to stop, pump the brakes, do some research. Can I actually use this card? And if they're like, you know what? You should get this card so you could change it to the Ritz Carlton card later for those that want to do that stuff. Sure, if that works for you, then works for you. But if you just want a bomb ass Marriott card, just go get the Brilliant. Call it a day and skip all the rigmarole.
Okay.
Save some time. That's my
Tariq,
2 cents.
Tariq, if you have a card and want to go towards a different card, are you product changing? Are you applying fresh? How do you handle that?
So short answer, it depends. And I will use a couple cards that I have in my wallet for kind of like my example of it. Not even like just throwing out any rule velocity. Well, like my velocity, like reasons for denial for previous cards. Current example, Sapphire Preferred. I've had it still in the first year. My first year anniversary will hit in May. If I were to want to get the Sapphire Reserve, I would have to upgrade it because of the rules of not being able to hit the sign-up bonus, because I already got a welcome offer. I had to wait 48-month rule, then product changed. Now, if I want the Sapphire Reserve now, I'm just going to upgrade my Sapphire Preferred to Sapphire Reserve. It's not going to play any games with that. I have a City Custom Cash, so if I wanted to go to get the Strata Premier, in that case, I would just apply for it because I could go for the extra thank you points, and I could still have a use case for the Custom Cash because it's a no annual fee card, and I'll just pay the annual fee on that. The only other card that I did product change for recently, and that was just because I was trying to take advantage of the categories. My Blue Cash Everyday, I ended up upgrading it to the Blue Cash Preferred. I did kind of a weird upgrade downgrade game hit unintentionally. So I upgraded, got like the bonus, downgraded the card, and then I was planning on upgrading it regardless because I was switching from YouTube TV to Hulu Live, and I got like another upgrade offer. So $75, but I didn't anticipate to get an upgrade offer after getting upgrading an offer, I think like a year ago. So we're there. So thanks, Amex. I'll take my $75 and you're not gonna get a complaint out of me. And I'll probably just keep that card for the time being because Freedom Flex is my 5X year round is dead. And I needed a card to replace that. And I figured, why not? 6% cash back. And even with the $95 annual fee, I'm making up pretty good amounts. So yeah, those would be just kind of the use case. If I can apply for a new card for it, I will, because I can just get, a nice little welcome offer that increase my points balance for whatever ecosystem that I'm looking for, and then, take advantage of that. But if I can't, or it just doesn't seem like it's not advantageous, I'll probably just upgrade because I might be able to even get the card sooner without having to worry about if I get approved, because I can just, move up there. Maybe if I just need to upgrade my Credit limit, great, but yeah, I think that's it.
Matt, I'll close out on you and then it's all yours.
All right. I think with when you come to the question of wanting to go higher up in an issuer's lineup, and specifically with I'll use the Delta cards specifically. If you are hurting for Delta miles, I think you should consider going fresh application. Why? Because you're going to get the elevated. Well, there's currently an elevated welcome offer. I'm not saying go for the elevated welcome offer right now, but if you're hurting for Delta miles and you need Delta miles, go for the fresh application. Because if you don't have an upgrade offer, you're going to guarantee yourself those points. And if you can make the spend work, great. If you are not in a place where you need those miles, you need those points, but you want the perks, just product change out. Amex specifically makes it relatively easy to move up and down their card lineups with no issue. Yeah, the first question you have to ask yourself in a product lineup is, where am I with my points? If my points are good, go from, jump up with just an upgrade, take whatever upgrade offer and just go from there. If you want to replenish your points or you are low on your points, I would say a fresh application and following the application rules is a better use of, the card slot or your point pool for the issuer in question or for the product in question. Now I'm speaking directly to your specific example with Amex. For folks in general, the same will largely apply. If you hold the Chase Freedom Flex or the Chase Freedom Unlimited and you want to Chase Sapphire Preferred or Sapphire Reserve, you can move up. No problem. If you've never previously had the Sapphire Preferred or Reserve, it would, however, make more sense to get the welcome offer on both of those cards of 60,000 points because that's an extra $600 in points that you can play with those elevated earnings and point redemptions that you can do. But if all you're after is just the card and the perks that the card gives you, you can jump up. If you've been holding on to the Freedom Unlimited for like 8 to 12 years and you've banked, I don't know, 300,000 chase points, just 8 to 12 years of spending on one card, you can upgrade, no problem. Just upgrade it. You've got plenty of points to play with. Yeah, so I think it'll go on a case by case basis. Now, if you're someone who's already tapped out for the number of credit cards you can get from American Express, close the card that you want to, and you need points, close the old card. Don't worry about the account just because once you close a card, and it's closed in good standing, it's still going to stay on your credit report for 10 years. Like you don't have to worry about, oh, what's going to happen? The only thing you're hurting is your overall total credit available to you and potentially your utilization. But if those aren't factors that you have to worry about, close the old card, get the new card. But at the end of the day, it's going to depend on, what your point pool looks like, how you want to approach things. If you're sitting on a mountain of Delta points, great. If you're sitting on a mountain of Chase points, great. Yeah, if you need to restock, apply for the new card because the welcome offer is always going to give you more points immediately from jump than trying to spend your way to it, especially on an airline card because those things earn like dogs. So yeah, that's kind of all I have there. I know I'm kind of speaking directly at your situation and sort of trying to be a little bit more broad in total, but yeah, where are your points? And can you take the hit of not getting a welcome offer? If you're good with both, product change. What's the problem? When I've done product changes where like the autograph came out, I didn't know that when the autograph came out, it had a 30,000 point welcome offer. So it was like $300 on 1,500 in spend. I just took my Cashwise card, my previous Wells Fargo card, and just product changed it to an autograph because it didn't make sense to me for me to add another card when I had a card that I would get way more use out of just converting it. I didn't know about the points and miles game at that time, and Wells Fargo at the time didn't have transfer partners, but I've learned my lesson to at least start taking some of those things into consideration beforehand. And the welcome offers were kind of crap on Wells cards at the time. But yeah, there you go. All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of Stack Your Points. If you like what we do, hit the like and subscribe here on YouTube. Our shows come out on Wednesdays and Fridays on YouTube. The full show on it, not on it, the full show comes out on Saturday on the podcatcher of your choice. Please give us a 5-star rating there to help us grow the podcast on podcatchers. We appreciate your time. Thank you for listening. RJ, if we needed to find you on the vast expanses of the internet, where's the best place for that?
Go to the Stack Your Points Discord, and I'm in there saying things at least once a week, if not 17 times a week.
Can confirm. Tariq, where can we find you?
Yeah, right now, Stack Your Points Discord while work is kind of been wrapping up now that we're transitioning positions in that job. So, yay.
Oh,
But yeah. That's been great, in getting off home and like going to sleep, except for Mondays where I record, where I've been great with Reeks Awards. But Reeks Awards is coming soon once I kind of get us moved out my transition with work. So yeah, I ain't forgetting about y'all, I promise. Just life's been kicking my butt a little bit.
All good. Lani, where can we find you on the vast expanses of the web?
No, I'm not going to kick Tariq while he's down, so I'll save it to next week. But I am in a small corner of the internet on YouTube and in the Stack Your Points Discord as well. Just everything's under my same name. Call me Lani, all one word, and Lani is spelled Lani.
Fantastic. This has been Stack Your Points. Oh, you can find me at the Matt Clausen YouTube channel and in the Stack Your Points Discord as well. As always, thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.